Hello! It's full on summertime. I got bit by some spiders and bugs and stuff. Wanted to tell a little story about the girl next door. In 1995, we moved, Cowboy and I moved from here to the place where he and my mother live now. And the man living next door had 3 daughters. And this is not a joke. It starts out like a joke. 3 daughters. One had no leg. One was whatever. Anyways, we went to school together, and for a week I think we dated. It was we were kids, and it just I don't know, whatever. We were kids. It's like you break up, you date somebody, you break up, whatever. Back around the time it was after we got the kids back. She asked me if I wanted to go have a drink, and she had been dating this guy who was in the military, and she found him dead. He shot himself in the head, and they had a fight the night before, a really bad fight, and she felt really guilty. She tried to take her own life. Ended up in the hospital for weeks, and this was several months after that happened. And so I was like, yeah, sure, we'll go have a couple drinks. And I mean, we rode to school together a lot in high school until I got emancipated and left the house. But it was just, we just small talk. It wasn't anything, we weren't like best friends or nothing. And so I was a little surprised that she wanted to go have a beer or hang out, because she's not really a social person. She goes to work, she goes home. She had children very young, and she just focused on that, So we had lost touch for a long time. And we go to this little Irish bar, a little Irish pub, and it was kind of clear that she had some things to say to me. And because she was just sitting there like nervously looking at me, and we ordered the beers, and knowing her, I mean, like I said, we weren't best friends or anything, but I knew her personality. And knowing her personality, I could sense the unease that she had, social awkwardness. And she told me that she had some things to tell me. And I was very distraught I'd already lost a bunch of weight. I was sad a lot because I had to be supervised to see my own kids and all that. And she told me some of the most wonderful things about myself. Gave me a bunch of compliments. She started out by saying, um, I wanted to tell you some things that I've noticed about you in all the time that we've known each other. And I'm like, okay. So she tells me all these things. She tells me that she admires me for a lot of different reasons. She told me that she admired that I never well, being that she lived next door and that she knew a lot of the things that had gone on. This is a teenager, you tell some of your friends like, oh, things are so messed up. Things might be, and they might not be. It's a teenage thing. But I guess in my case, it did kind of hit home with her. She had some similar issues with her mother, and so I'm trying to remember exactly how she put it. And it's hard for me to describe why it meant so much coming from her. I guess because we hadn't talked in years and we hadn't hung out in years. So I wasn't aware that she was aware of anything I had done or how I'd lived my life or whatever. But she told me that I was that she admired that I had survived, in spite of everything, and that was something that she thought about in the hospital. And it came up in, I guess, the group sessions or whatever. And if there's one thing I always try to be, it's humble, because I don't feel like it's right to boast about things. For instance, someone who helps someone, I don't feel like it's right to go around saying, oh, well, I helped that person, they owe me. That's a skink. And I think he agrees with me. It's not natural, I mean, if you help somebody, then God bless you, He agrees with that too. There's no need to boast about it. So it was quite overwhelming because she had a lot. I didn't get a word in for about 20-30 minutes. She went through a lot of she talked about a lot of things that I have been through that she knew about, and and this is someone who I felt had been through, especially recently, had been through an incredible amount of severe trauma. And I'm looking at her like, wow, you are a survivor. And she's telling me that I'm a survivor and that somehow I helped her. It had a big effect on me. That was like not even a year into the divorce and all the proceedings, and it gave me a renewed sense of like confidence and purpose, because it came from a person who I know had experienced some serious trauma and even was considering taking her own life and was, determined to do it. So she's lucky she survived. Now the thing is, the girl next door ain't the only person who's told me that throughout my life. I've had a lot of people tell me that. Why am I saying it? Seems contradictory, because it's like, when you help somebody, God bless you. Right? So why am I talking about it? Well, in the last 2 months, there have been people that have helped me. I don't even know. Some of them I've talked to, some of them I've messaged, some of them have messaged me. Many of them comment on my videos and show an enormous amount of love and support. But I couldn't begin to tell you the amount of people who have told me throughout my life, you've really helped me. And I don't mean to sound silly about that, because in reality, those are intimate, serious, what's the word? Legitimate thanks. And I don't think twice about it, really, or haven't, didn't. I guess I am now because I'm talking about it, but the point is, you can be that person that makes a big difference in someone's life. And that may sound cliche, and it may sound, you may have heard it a million times. One person can make all the difference. And you may take it with a grain of salt, just like I have for so long. But it is true. You can be a person just being you. Because there was, like I said, the girl next door, we didn't really have much of a friendship or anything. I mean, it was we carpooled to school together. And we had a couple mutual friends. Maybe they, told her about some of the things I'd gone through, but I never did, because we never talked. And as far to my knowledge, No one prompted her to invite me to go do anything, because she's not the kind of person that she I love this about her. She's the kind of person that if someone like tries to prompt her to do something, she's like, ah, nope. Now that you said for me to do it, I'm not going to do it. She's a very rebellious type. So I know that this was her own idea, because you're not going to put an idea in her head. She talked about her kids, whenever, because after her suicide attempt, she lost access to her kids. And she told me I had a lot to be thankful for and a lot to live for, regardless of what was going on. And let me tell you that one person, unlikely person, made a big difference. So never forget that. That's my message. One person can make all the difference in a positive way or a negative way. And don't let a person who you may have respect for or feel some sense of debt towards affect you in a negative way, because that's really your decision to make, whether you allow that to happen or not, as hard as that is to deal with, because you may have a person you respect a lot that isn't any good for you when it comes to helping. There's all kinds of different help. And many celebrities will tell you that money doesn't help. You have all the money you want, you still got the same problems. Jim Carrey's a good example of that. He talks about it a lot, because he's had a lot of problems. Different people may need different kinds of help. So, I don't know. Just wanted to share that story about the girl next door and how she helped me. And it was so unlikely, and it was so random. But I was in a real bad place mentally. And she had been too recently. And I'd argue that she was dealing with a lot more stress and stuff than I was. But yet she told me that I helped her somehow. So never discount or discredit your own experience and insight into your own life and the decisions that you make and how they affect other people and their perception of themselves. Because one person can make all the difference. That's what I got. Speaking of help, if you can help me out, I'm almost got enough to get a vehicle. And a friend of mine told me there was an opening at the school board for IT. But it's miles and miles and miles from, anywhere where I'm at. So I do need a vehicle. I wanted to thank Rob and Michelle and for their very generous donations. Like, I mean, that's, to me, that's like $1 million in my, you know, in my pocket. But I'm not quite there yet. I still need another couple $100, maybe $1,000 to get a vehicle that I can depend on. I've been looking at the market, and there's some vehicles here in the, you know, $1,500 to $2,000 range. And of course, I've still got to get my tax title and license and registration and transfer my insurance and all that. So, and that all has to be done within a certain period of time after I purchase the vehicle. So, every little bit helps. And I hope that the little girl next door story is inspiring to you, because it really is true. One person can make all the difference, and I hope everybody that subscribes regularly, you know, watches my videos, you're all very special, and you just don't know how much you might affect someone in a positive way. And all you have to do is be yourself, really. So, namaste, and live long and prosper, and much love to everybody out there in YouTube land. Live long and prosper.